Hello, everybody. It is Emily Breyer with Claim Brilliance, and I'm very excited today because I did an hour-long recording about this topic, but I wanted to also do a video so that I can share it on YouTube and share it on Facebook for those of you who like to watch videos instead of just listening. If you're a visual learner and not just an auditory learner, I wanted to share this with you as well. So today I was doing a training with my mentor, and he was talking about people who criticize and nitpick versus people who support. This is what I want to talk about today, and how you can up your self-esteem if you are dealing with depression or dealing with just, we're our own worst enemies, right? And I am your mentor. If you resonate with me and you watch me and you follow me, then this is another training that I have for you, and I think it is really, really important. So let's get straight into it, shall we? If you want more details, go ahead and find my audio. It is on my Claim Brilliance Facebook page. So look for me there if you want an hour long. I'm not going to make this one an hour long because I already have one that's an hour long. I just am going to touch base on things that you can do to up your self-esteem, up your self-worth. If you're getting a lot of criticism, what's happening there? So let's get started. Okay. There are 3 levels of people who will support you or not support you, okay? So I'm gonna start with the lowest level, the nitpickers, the people who will criticize. Oh, her hair isn't just right. She says and a lot, or but a lot, or a lot, or, you know, she obviously doesn't do her makeup well. The lighting is off. She should move her hair. She should, right? So I move my hair. That's because I saw the shadow. Anyways. So those people who criticize you, if you go out on a limb and start going for your goals and going for your dreams, you're going to have people in your life who are going to criticize you. Now, there's constructive criticism and there's destructive criticism. Destructive criticism are people who will come into your life, whether on Facebook or on YouTube or even in your family, when you start going for your goals, and they'll start giving you advice, or they'll start criticizing, saying they should do this, she should do that, the lighting would be better if, or just criticizing. What is happening is they themselves are out of control. Oh, did I hit a nerve when I said that? They themselves are not fulfilling their own goals, or they have no goals, and they are beating themselves up, right? We're our own worst enemy. We are. And it's really, I'm going to move so that you can see. I actually wanted you to see that view, not my garbage cans over there. That's not a pretty view. Sorry, I'm gathering my thoughts, and I'm not going to restart because it's that perfectionist in me that says you should just restart. So, okay, if you didn't like that, we're moving forward. They are that you're your own worst enemy, and like attracts like. So if you are critical of yourself and you're not happy with yourself, then you will spread the good news of not liking other people or being super critical. and nitpicking, and that's not good enough. People also who are dealing with depression or are dealing with low self-esteem, if you turn the tables and they're like, oh, I see that you're going for your goal and this wasn't good, and this wasn't good, then you can turn the table and just say, well, what are you working on? How are your goals? What are your successes? What are your struggles? And start turning the tables on them, and they will turn and start saying, well, I don't do this 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 well. And they will name a million things that they are not doing well. That's the lowest level. The middle level of people in your life will be like, they will say, she did really well on this, and she did really well on this. She should improve on this and improve on this. They're balanced in their criticism versus the message, okay? They're balanced. That's more of a constructive criticism when they're like, you did this really well and you did this really well. Here's a tip and here's a tip. Okay, they're balanced. It's not like, oh, she is too heavy to be doing, or too old, or doesn't know what she's talking about. Those are lower levels. Middle levels are the constructive criticism will come into that one, where they'll say, you did really well, work on this and work on this. Okay? And then your highest level will look past all of the stalls, the gulps, the burps, the ums, ands, buts, didn't do her makeup right, lighting's off, and they will look for the message within why you're even talking. Okay? Those people are awesome. So how do you become one of those people? That's what I want to train you to do today, because I know my own personal journey is that I am my own worst enemy. Believe me, if you can point it out, I already have. I've already gone down the road of too old, too young, too fat, not fit enough, not strong enough, not smart enough. That was a big one for me, is I wasn't ever smart enough to be able to hop on here and actually influence people. Nope, wasn't me. I was nobody. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't smart enough. I couldn't remember enough. And believe me, my list can have 100 things on it of things that I need to work on. But in order to turn the tables around, what you do is, on one side of the paper, you write 20 things that you are good at. 20 things that you like about yourself. 20. A few of those on my list are, I am proud that I was homeschooled. I am proud that I am a homeschool mom. I am proud that I have 5 beautiful children. I am proud and grateful that I have been married for over 21 years. I am proud and I am grateful for the opportunities that I have to travel and to snorkel and to overcome my fears. I am grateful to live in America. I am grateful for the ocean. I am, and just not only things that you're grateful for, but things that you're good at. So I am good at educating. I am a teacher. I wasn't always a teacher. I didn't always have the confidence to say that out loud, that I have value, that I have things that I love to share, that I'm talented, that I like making cakes, that I like and I'm good at making cakes. I'm good at it and it's fun. I'm good at scrapbooking and crafting. I'm good at loving people. You know, when I was growing up, I never really felt like I had any talents. I deemed all of my worth to my friends and other outside sources because I dealt heavily in depression, heavily. I would sit on my dad made a desk slash vanity and with a mirror, and I would sit on that desk and look at myself and just cry. I would just cry. Every night I would cry. I would exercise because I always dealt with my weight. I would exercise and then I would get up on that table and just cry. And when I was 15, I gave my freedom to a boy. And I started dating this guy. And when he broke up, and when he called it off, like him and I were no more, not a thing anymore, I was 16 years old and I tried to take my life. I did. I've been down in the dumps. I have had so many times where I have felt worthless and hopeless. So I know from personal experience, it's not a fun place to be. And I hope that this training that I'm giving you right now, if you're down there, do this. And if you can't find 20 things that you are good at or that a talent that you have, like teaching or being good with people. I love people. I have always believed in people more than they will believe in themselves. That's one reason why I am a great mentor, is because I am smart. I didn't always think that I was smart. I didn't always think that I had value, but I am smart and I have a lot of value to offer people. And I truly, truly love serving. I love serving and I love watching people grow. It is so fun. And those are just some of the things that I am good at. Now, my list of things that I need to improve, believe me, they're in the thousands. They're in the thousands because who's your own worst enemy? You will be your own worst enemy. And if you can overwhelm yourself. I am going to teach you to not overwhelm yourself. So if you can only find one thing that you are good at, you only, on the second list, okay, this is the list of things that you're good at. This is the list of things to improve about yourself. If you only can find one thing that you are good at, you are only allowed, listen to me carefully, balance is everything. If you can only find one thing that you are good at, on the opposite side of things that you need to improve, you can only put one. Focus on that one thing, make it better. And as you develop and you make that thing better, you will start to improve. And when you start to improve, you write this list over here of things that you're good at will grow. As that list grows, this list can grow. As the things that you're good at doing grows, the list of improvement, things that you need to improve, can then grow. But you have to have balance. You have to have balance. This is key to getting out of depression, to moving forward with your life, to setting goals and not having it a trigger word. Things that you're good at. Balance with things you improve. Now, the longer this one goes, this list over here on things that you need to improve always stays at 5. You do not get to overwhelm yourself. Believe me, I have perfectionistic tendencies where things aren't clean enough, things aren't good enough. I need to not put this out there because the camera's jiggling, because the garbage cans were showing, because I stalled, because. Believe me, I do it all the time, but I will not let myself go there. So I have 5 things that I am working on. 5 things that I am working on, and my list of things that I am good at continues to grow. This is how you become a person who can support other people, who can look for the good, and either be in type. There's the low, middle, and high. You want to stay in the middle and high. It's okay to be in the middle. It's okay to say, hey, I want to help you. So this is what you did well, this is what you did well, and this is what you did well, and these are the areas in which you can improve. And then, if you get that though, if it does not correlate with your five, then you put it on the back burner, like, thank you for your advice. I will take note, but right now I'm working on my 5, and I'm not adding a 6th. So what are my 5 things that I'm working at? Number 1, my health. But not just my health, because that can be an elephant all on its own. So what are the small things that I am currently working at in order to hit and achieve my goals? Move every day. I don't care if it is taking a walk, riding a bike, lifting weights. I need to move every single day. And if it's just 5 minutes a day, it's 5 minutes a day. But I get to move every single day. Drink enough water. For me, that is 100 ounces of water to a gallon. 100 ounces to a gallon. That is on my improvement list under the category of health. So move every day, get enough water, and then my 3rd in that category is don't consume sugar. And I don't mean like ketchup. I mean like, unless it is a holiday or a very special occasion, not to consume candy, cookies, cakes, pastries, all of that. I could go crazy and go overboard and be like, I am going to do Beachbody every single day. I am going to do clean eating every single day and not consume anything that isn't real. Or I could do keto and not allow. But that for me is set up for failure. And I want this to be a lifelong thing, not a temporary thing. So those are like 3 things that I'm working on in my dietary. Now, when I am off of sugar, I've been off of sugar once for 9 months. At that time, I could have put it on this list of benefits, right? Of my list of, hey, I'm really good at this and I'm really proud of myself. Another thing that is on my other list is getting past my fears. If you have been following me at all on Facebook, you will see that I jumped off of a bridge. It was so crazy. And that just happened 2 days ago. And I am sore, very, very sore, because I landed a little bit crazy and I have a great big bruise on my body and it kind of hurts to walk. But I'm still floating on cloud 9 because I conquered something that I was afraid to do. It took me going there 3 times, three times. And the 3rd time I was like, I cannot leave until I jump off of this bridge. Like, I'm not going to. It took me about 15 to 20 minutes to actually jump. I was so in my head. And yes, I did get hurt, but it's okay because it was so fun and it was so worth it. And I'm still floating on cloud 9 after this is day 3, since I had that experience. And even though I have a great big bruise and it hurts to walk, I am still super excited that I did that. Another thing that I have done to conquer my fear is when I was 7 or 8 years old, I used to go to my grandpa's house and we would... Go ahead. It's okay. Oh, I've got to drop my daughter off. Yeah, take the car. Sorry. We would swim in a gully, and my grandfather ended up coming down to check on us, and I was in the middle of this gully, and I knew there were fish there, but they didn't scare me until he had said, Emily, he said, Emily, don't let the fish bite your toes. And he was just teasing me, right? But to me, that created a mind file that fish were dangerous. And it wasn't until I turned 40 that I took my daughter that just went by. I took my daughter to the Bahamas, and I turned 40 and she turned 16. It was her sweet 16 and my sweet 40. And I just decided, I've always wanted to travel. I've never really traveled outside of the United States. I had never traveled outside of the US. But I had this dream since I was a child to go somewhere with clear water. Anyways, I ended up, she's driving away. She's going to work. I ended up swimming with nurse sharks, which was so fun. But then I also swam with reef sharks. And yes, some people will be like, reef sharks. Okay, but I was afraid of swimming with fish. Sharks are a lot different than swimming with fish. So this was a big deal to me that I was swimming with nurse sharks and with reef sharks. And as I jumped off the bridge into water that has fish in it, I found that I have overcome my fear of swimming with fish. I was not afraid at all. In fact, I ended up swimming out to some kayakers who were encouraging me to jump, and I went and gave them a high five, like, I did it, and I gave them a high five, and it was a big deal because back in the day, now I used to swim with fish all the time, but I would psych myself out. So, or trick my brain, if you will. So other people would go in first before me, and then in my head, I pictured all of the fish swimming away, that all of the fish were no longer anywhere close to where I was playing. And I would trick myself. In fact, this one time I had tricked myself, and then we were sliding down this dam, and my brother, Jeremy, he actually saw a fish, and he was like, oh, cool, look at that fish. And I started hitting it, fight or flight, right? And I started hitting him, and then I jumped on his back. I was terrified of fish. And like another time that I wanted to jump off of this rock into this lake-ish thing, and my sister, I wanted her to jump in first to scare away the fish. And she was like, I don't feel like doing that. I'm not jumping today. And she was with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend wasn't jumping and she wasn't jumping, but I really wanted to jump. So I threw a rock, like kind of a biggish rock, into the water to try to, get my brain to be like, okay, now they're all gone. And then I jumped in, and I almost had a panic attack. I did have a panic attack, and I almost didn't make it to the rock, which you would climb up to jump off the rock again. I was terrified. And I almost didn't make it to the edge because I was terrified. So, like, my fear of swimming with fish is not catching fish or eating fish or any of that, just swimming with fish was terrifying to me. But after I swam with sharks, and the water which we went in, it was brown, like from all the leaves and all of the stuff that it was just brown. And it looked like maple syrup. Like, it was thick brown, and you cannot see any of the fish. In fact, as I was floating, I actually felt a couple of fish come up and kind of do this to my leg, or my leg or my back, as I was just sitting still, and I did not freak out. I was like, oh, that's probably a fish. My son knows how I felt about swimming with fish, and he actually went under the water and played with my toes to try to freak me out. And of course I figured out it was him, but I didn't even scream. Like, conquer your fears. That is on one of the side that I am working on, is to get over my fears, because feel your fear and do it anyways. Growth lies on the outskirts of your comfort zone, what I call the magic zone. I'm like spouting these things, and I'm talking about the subconscious and how that works. And today it's all about self-value. Did you know that everything you do is linked to your self-value? Everything. Finances, time, relationships, relationship with God, viewpoints, everything that you want to do to improve upon yourself has everything to do with your self-value. If you don't value yourself and you think, look at your finances. Look at your finances and tell me if you find that you have self-value. Look at your relationships and tell me if you have self-value. And if you're struggling in this department, I encourage you to write these lists. One list has 20 things on it. And if you can't find 20 and you can only find 5 things that you like about yourself, the list over here can only have 1 or 2. If you have 10 things over here, it can have 3 or 4. If you have 15 to 20, it can have 5. If it has 100 over here, your to-do list, your improvement list can only have 5. 5. Because you don't want to get into overwhelm. I am giving you permission to lead your life. Be the captain of your ship. Don't let others dictate your value. Don't let others, including friends, family, loved ones, enemies, frenemies, anybody else. You do not get to give your personal power to somebody else. You don't get to. I'm taking away your agency. Can I really do that? Can I? No, it is still up to you. But as your mentor, if you are listening to this and you have watched this through all the distraction and everything else, and you're resonating with what I'm saying, I count myself as your mentor. And as your mentor and teacher, I am telling you, do not give your power to other people. That's pretty powerful, because the day in which we live today, sorry, I was making sure that wasn't my daughter. There's a lot of stuff, opinions out there, from masks versus no masks, politics, religion, no religion, name it, there is an opinion. And my grandfather used to say, opinions are like, well, I'm going to clean it up. Opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody has one. But it is you that gets to take back your life, take back your power, your personal progress equals personal value. If you personally want to progress, you personally get to up your value. Pretty cool, huh? And as you up your value, you will progress more and more. And stop letting the naysayers, the nitpickers, the criticizers, all of that, stop giving them power and take your power back. Make your lists. This is my invitation to you. If you've listened through this whole thing, this is the action step that you get to take today. Today. Like, turn it off. And if you've watched this 30 minutes so far, if you have watched this for 30 minutes, you get to take another 15 and go and make a list of things that you're good at or positive things about you. And then on this side, if there's only 5 here, this side gets to be smaller. Only one thing that you get to improve. And as you improve on that, that gets to be put over here, and then you can add another one. And when this list over here gets to 10, this can get to 3. When this list over here gets to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, sorry, Nat, this list gets to stay at 5. No more than 5. If you only have 1 here, you only have 1 here. If you have 2 here, you have 1 here. If you have 3 here, you have 1 here. If you have 5 here, you have 1. You get to choose 1 or 2. But you can't, if you want to make it balanced, if you have 5 things over here and 5 things over here, that's your level 2. I'm trying to get you to go to level 3. But if you're more comfortable on level 2, if you're more comfortable on level 2, I give you permission to be comfortable at level 2. As your mentor, stay away from the bottom level. And if you're going for your goals and you have people who will come into your life and post, oh, her hair isn't right, or her makeup isn't right, or she's too heavy, or she's too old, or she's too, I'm talking about me right now, she's too blah, 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 blah. I know that it's not really about me, that it's actually about them. And if I were to sit down with them and start talking about their goals and what holds them back, I would find that they are nitpicking themselves. But it's hard to nitpick yourself, and it's easier to nitpick somebody else and to criticize somebody else on the outside, because the inside hurts. And when a person who is hurting on the inside doesn't want to face that, they will turn around and hurt people on the outside, because they're looking at their faults and they're pushing it off to somebody else. So they'll be super critical of you, and they'll comment and they'll make remarks. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if I get some haters, but they don't really hate. They just are hurting on the inside and don't know how to push forward with their goals, and they are living in fear. And their list of negatives is way longer than their list of positives. And I know that that's what's going on. I don't want you to be like that. I want you to be either balanced or a step above. Balanced or a step above. And I would rather have you up here than in the balanced, because these people really know how to move their life. Pretty awesome, right? Pretty awesome. So this is my message for you today, you guys. Go out, live your life on purpose. Do not let the river of life take you wherever it wants to take you. Get a paddle, write down your goals. Another tip, as you write this list down of things that you're going to work on, find a picture, put it on your wall. Get a cork board, get a piece of paper, get some masking tape, tape off a square, and post what you're working on the wall, and you have yourself a vision board, a goal, and a direction you are heading. And then work on it every single day. And if you fall off, believe me, I fall off all the time on my goals. And I have self-doubt all the time. I'm my own worst enemy, right? How many times did I mess up on this video? But I'm looking for the high thinkers. I'm looking for those who will look past that, because life happens, who will look past that, my humanness, and get to the meat of what I'm trying to get you to go for. I'm trying to get you to go for your goals. Direct your life. Frame your life. Frame your life. Put it on the wall. Get a vision board. Frame it up. Awesome. And then as you accomplish this side, it's so fun. As you accomplish this side will grow, and you will be able to take off the pictures off of your vision board and put it into your accomplishment binder. So cool. So cool. And then you can show that off and be like, oh yeah, I'm not perfect, but I did this and I did this and I did this and I did this. Very cool. Couple of things that are in my vision board book binder that I've gotten to take off is traveling to clear water. And I did that. And it was so fun. And I talk about it all the time. Bridge jumping. I just barely got that one off of my wall 3 days ago. Woohoo! It's public speaking. I've had that on my vision board for a really long time. And I still have it on my vision board. But whenever I do something like this, I actually take off the picture that is on there and put it in my binder and put another one on. It can be the same one or it can be a different one, but it has to do with the same thing. Because I want my mind, I want my subconscious to go in the direction of accomplishment, and I want to train it that this is the direction I'm going. These are accomplishments. They are goals that are being tracked and fulfilled. Very cool. All right, you guys, this is my training today. I hope you find value. If you have any comments, questions, you want to find me on YouTube. I am on YouTube. It's under Emily Bryer, E-M-I-L-Y, B as in boy, R-Y-A-R. Like, subscribe, do all of that stuff. If I resonate with you, I am trying to put more videos on there more frequently than not. You can also find my Facebook page, Claim Brilliance Facebook page. And then if you want to work with me directly, like you and me, we can do Zoom call, we can do Skype. I do all of that. We can do Facebook, Messenger, however you want, whatever works for you. I will set it up. I usually use Zoom, but I'm willing to do whatever. If you would like to work with me, I would love the opportunity to help you set goals, figure out what's holding you back, give you tips and tricks and education, and I would love, truly, I hope that you can feel this. I would love to work with you. Another one of my natural talents is that I believe in people. I encourage them, I educate them, I believe that they can go further than they can go, than they think they can go. I will believe in you for a lot longer than you will believe in you. And I love mentoring. I hope that you can feel this. I love mentoring. I love watching people go from point A to point B to point C to point D, all the way clear up to point Z. It brings me so much joy when I get a phone call that says, Emily, thank you so much. You've helped my marriage. Thank you so much. We're actually doing what you told us to do, and we're finding success. Thank you for helping me. I have one client who, I'm communicating with him and I'm asking him, how are you doing? Are you doing well? And I was kind of having, we're kind of friends. Well, we are friends. And I was kind of having a hard time. And I just asked him, I'm like, is this valuable at all? I was having a down day, and he said, I was unemployed and you helped me. Yes, it is definitely worth the money. Yes, it is definitely worth the time and effort that it takes in order to continue moving forward. I just got a call from another lady, and she called me and said, I've been mentoring her daughter, and she said, Emily, thank you so much. We're going to write a review on your page because even just the little tips that you gave to my daughter, she's implementing it with her husband, and her husband is now finding joy again. Instead of overwhelmed, what is this life all about? Tired of going through the revolving doors, I don't know my next step. I called her and I had a chat with her. And I heard back from her mom, and she said that they're actually implementing what I did, what I told them to do. And even just the little tiny action steps that I gave them, she said, Thomas is his name. Thomas is doing so much better. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to my daughter and her husband. Thank you. And I actually didn't talk to her husband because he wasn't talking, like he was just shut down. But I talked to his wife, and I gave his wife some mentoring advice. Oh, sorry, there's like a gnat. Anyways, and there was value. And it gladdens my heart that I am making a difference. I find so much joy that I'm no longer getting in my own way. I'm no longer getting in my own way. So if you would like personal one-on-one mentoring, please, I have packages, and we would do really well. We would do really good work, even with my lowest package, which is 3 mentoring sessions. It is 6 weeks, so a month and a half, and we could do great work. And I have higher packages, but even just my smallest package, if you want to try it out, I invite you to contact me at claimbrilliance@gmail.com. You don't have to know what to say, name and number, and I will call you. I will call you, and we will have a chat. And it will be so great. All right, you guys, for now, claim brilliance. Claim your brilliance because you matter. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.